Hey there. Did you know that people who have a net worth of more than $1 million don't have a bank account? Well, some of you might be wondering, but then where do they keep the $1 million? Well, that's the thing. People with a net worth of $1 million plus don't really have $1 million. Let me explain. To really understand this, let's talk about Elon Musk. Yes, I know he's not just a millionaire, he's a multi-billionaire. But after a certain point, whether it's $1 million or $1 billion, the principle remains the same. And if you don't believe me, just ask any ultra-rich person. But let's get back to the question. Why does Elon Musk have no bank account? Is it because he's underage? Or maybe banks don't believe he's legit? Well, it's neither. As of 2025, Elon Musk's net worth is estimated to be $350 billion. But what exactly is net worth? Net worth is not the same as how much cash you have. If someone had that much cash lying around, they might as well invite the IRS over for dinner because they'd be getting taxed into oblivion. Most of Musk's wealth comes from his 21% ownership of Tesla, as per SEC filings on June 30th, 2023. That's about $211 billion in Tesla stock. Meaning, his money isn't sitting in a bank, it's tied up in investments. So now you might be thinking, but then how does he afford daily expenses? What about buying cars, yachts, or food? Well, here's the trick. He doesn't just live off dividends. Because, fun fact, Tesla doesn't even pay dividends. So how does he get money? He just takes out loans. Yep. If Musk wants a $250,000 yacht, he just calls his bank and tells them to wire the money. And just like that, boom, he has the cash. For daily expenses, he does the same, topping up one of his bank accounts with $250,000 or whatever he needs. But how does he pay back those loans? Simple. He takes out another loan to pay off the first one. This works because of his massive stock portfolio. He uses his shares as collateral. Banks love this. They'll gladly lend him millions because they know he's good for it. Why not just sell his stocks? Good question. Technically, yes, he could sell some of his Tesla stock, but that would cost him billions in taxes. Selling assets triggers capital gains tax, and if Musk were to cash out his stocks, he'd owe the government over $50 billion. But let's say even if he somehow avoided taxes and put all $200 billion in a bank, he'd be lucky to get a 3% return annually. That's roughly how much he makes from Tesla monthly. But then one could argue owning a stock with that much value comes with huge risks, and they're right. A 3% fall in the stock value and boom, his net worth is $6 billion less. But it also goes the other way around. Oh, and by the way, if you've stuck around this far, you're probably someone who enjoys learning about finance and economics. If that sounds like you, you might as well hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on more videos like this. Alright, back to the video. The real lesson here. Keeping all your money in a bank is a losing game. Why? Because of inflation, the silent thief that devalues your cash every single year. Banks lure people in with a promise of 5% annual interest rates on high-yield savings accounts. Sounds good, right? But here's the problem. Even if you somehow get a 5% annual return, inflation typically sits at 6% or higher. So let's say you deposit $100,000 into a high-yield savings account. After 10 years, your balance shows $162,000. You think you've made $62,000, but the reality is hard to digest. If inflation averaged 6% per year, your money's actual worth has decreased by $9,000. So while you think you're saving, you're actually losing money. And guess who benefits? The bank. They take your deposits, loan them out at high interest rates, and profit off your money, while you get scraps. But here's where it gets crazier. The banks have most likely double, triple, or even quadrupled your $100,000 in a decade. Not just from loaning out money. That's just the tips of the iceberg. From trapping people in huge credit card debts, to profits from manipulating the stock market, they do it all. The real ultra-rich people know this. That's why they don't give money to the bank and pretend to save, they invest. So what should you do instead? Here are 3 things you can do to stop losing money like the average person. 1. Use the 50-50 passive-aggressive rule. Most people either save everything and let inflation eat away at their money. Invest everything and get caught in market downturns when they need cash. The 50-50 passive-aggressive rule solves this. Here's how it works. Invest at least 30% to 50% of your income into SIPs, systematic investment plans, or index funds. These are low-maintenance, high-reward investments that keep growing over time. Unlike savings accounts, they don't just keep your money, they multiply it. So, instead of stacking cash in a bank where it loses value, put it in investments that actually make you richer over time. I've already made a detailed video about this topic. You can watch it by clicking on the I button after this video. 2. Build your stock portfolio and credit. You've seen how Musk operates. Rich people don't keep money, they keep assets. Why? Because assets gain value over time, while cash loses value. Your goal should be to own stocks, real estate, and appreciating assets. These don't just hold value, they increase it. Build your credit score. A high credit score equals banks will lend you money at dirt-cheap interest rates. Use your assets as collateral. Instead of selling, borrow against them for major expenses. This is how the wealthy play the game. They don't sell their stocks or houses when they need money. They leverage them to get low-interest loans. And guess what? Because their assets keep growing, the loans pay for themselves over time. I would love to make an in-depth video covering how these rich people actually do this. Comment down below if you'd be interested in learning that. 3. Never park your money in a savings account. No matter what your parents, your banker, or some finance guru tells you, saving money is not the same as growing money. Here's why. Inflation eats away at your savings faster than your bank gives you interest. Banks use your deposits to make 10x more than what they pay you in interest. The 5% interest they advertise, it's worthless if inflation is at 6% or higher. So to sum it all up, the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. But the thing is, this video is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you want to know the 3 signs of quietly wealthy people, click on the left video. But if you want to know what happens if everyone stopped paying taxes, click on the right video. See you on the other side. And don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on financial content like this while you're going. It only takes 1 second. Peace out.